Hello there, this is Charlie, and you're listening to the TestIO Open Mic podcast, a podcast created by testers for testers. In the previous episodes of this miniseries Work Smarter, Not Harder, Marcus and I discuss how to choose the most promising test, the importance of reading the instructions to comprehend a test, and how to become more productive while testing.
So, talking about exploratory testing, let me maybe make one point. So, I think a lot of new testers in the beginning, they do some random testing, what I would call it. And so they would go to a website that they're supposed to test, and they, well, more or less click around, try to interact with the customer product, with the website, to find some flaws. And that approach is, of course, natural, but it is not leading to success, in my opinion, because random testing means you basically have no expectations. And having expectations is exactly what you need when you're testing, right? So you need to make up your mind, how is something meant to work? And then you have an expectation, and then you can check if your expectation is met. If you just randomly click on things, that will not lead to success a lot of times, unless the app is crashing and it's very obvious. But these obvious flaws are usually already recognized by the internal development team or the QA team of the company. So that's what we are here for, right? To find a little bit more hidden bugs that the internal QA teams didn't find.
Hello, Marcus. You're right.
Hey, Charlie. Nice to be back.
Thank you. So, continuing with our mini-series, Work Smarter, Not Harder. Today, what would be the subject about?
Our today's topic is how not to waste time and how to use the existing time more efficiently.
Oh, we touched this point in the previous episode, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. In the very first one, when we talked about the importance of picking the right test, right? And so that's a huge time waster if you pick the wrong test and work on that test. So we covered that already, and today we want to talk about some other items.
Yes, and some examples of testers might be wasting more time, like unnecessarily.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, Marcus. So, how can testers avoid wasting time while testing?
I think a typical problem that testers have in tests is that they read entire bug lists and entire known bug lists because they want to make sure that their bug reports don't get rejected as duplicates or as known bugs. And so this is completely understandable on the one hand.
True.
But on the other hand, the longer these lists are, the more time they spend on this effort, and it's usually not worth it because we have an alternative solution for this. And the alternative is a feature some testers may not even know about. So let me quickly explain.
Please.
When you open a bug report form, then you start typing bug details into that form, you will see on the right hand side of the screen some reports that may appear there. Reports by other testers in this test, reports from the known bug list, and these reports are delivered by our duplication detection feature. So basically my suggestion would be use this feature to detect if your bug report is already on the bug list or on the known bug list. Now, I want to say this feature is, of course, not 100% reliable, but we will soon introduce a new algorithm to detect duplicates. And already by now, it's good enough. So I think if you want to trust this feature, you are more or less on the safe side. And even if your bug report should not be detected as already existing bug on one of these lists, then you still save time because you didn't read through the lists initially at the very beginning of the test.
If testers want to be sure that their report is not already submitted by any other tester, they can go and use the search feature and find out more if maybe for some reason it's not there on the right side.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. The search functionality on the known bug list, for example. Yeah. Another and probably my most important tip for this episode would be you need to stop working on a test if you do not find any bug reports and if there's no alternative work on this test, for example, available bug reproductions or available user stories. So let's imagine uh, you test for 20 minutes straight and you haven't found a single bug report, and there's a good chance that you may not find any bug even in the next 20 minutes, or maybe you do find a bug, but then let's calculate your hourly rate, what you got out of this test finding one bug in 40 minutes. Yeah, that's just meant as a small example to show you that if you don't find just a bug in a certain amount of time, it's better to just skip this test and move on to the next test that you selected cautiously, of course, according to our first episode. But yeah, it's the bottom line is not every test is worth it, and therefore, yeah, not every test guarantees you that you will find enough bugs and earn enough money. It's in your responsibility as a freelancer to manage yourself and manage your time, other than with maybe a regular job where somebody gives you a task and you just do what they tell you, and you know exactly how to do it and when to do it and until when to do it. So yeah, this is an important responsibility as a freelancer, and therefore my tip is, again, stop working on a test that's not worth it and skip to the next one in such a case.
Yeah, agreed. I would also add, like, maybe the case is they're after 20 minutes they haven't found anything, and then they start frustration or pushing too much for the features, like trying this negative testing or like input too many characters for a name which is not realistic. And I think they are wasting time producing such reports, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's understandable that, when you don't find anything, that maybe you get a little bit desperate and submit something that you already kind of know is not going to be accepted. But you try your luck because you didn't find anything else. And as you say, Charlie, I think this is a time waster here. Testing for such bugs that portray unrealistic user behavior and then documenting the same report. Second time waster, basically.
Basically, yes. Yes, probably testers they think is worth it, but as per Academy, those are edge cases, most of them. So
Yeah, and of course, we have to keep in mind some customers may be looking for edge case bugs, and so we want to make sure this is clear. If a customer is specifically looking for it, then please test such behavior and try to find edge cases. But based on our experience, many or even most customers are not looking for such bugs, and therefore, yeah, we would suggest not to test in that direction.
yes, thank you, Marcus. Anything else? Another example you got?
Yeah, so one of my last tips would probably be don't invest
Please.
too much in investigation. So on the one hand, it's always good if you have a good understanding of a bug you found, so that you know which step led to the bug, and that if it's clear for you, then it's probably also clear for the TL and the customer. But on the other hand, please don't waste your time for too much investigation. So trying to find the root cause might take you another 10 minutes, and as you can imagine, that just takes away 10 minutes you could spend on testing and finding the next bug, right? So
Yes.
ultimately, the customer will investigate the case anyway. So if your bug report is solid already and you documented the right steps and everything, then you should be good and you should continue with testing.
Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you, Marcus. Anything else?
No, I think that's it from my side. These are my most important points for today. Do you have anything else, Charlie?
I was thinking if the testers have invested enough time selecting the correct test for them. So why at the end wasting time doing all these things like submitting edge cases? It would be a contradiction.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for giving us already 4 episodes of wisdom, advice, and examples on how to work smarter, Marcus. Testers and listeners, we really want to hear from you how these episodes have impacted your testing work. And if you're getting some benefits from them, or you can also add some more tips and tricks, why not, to share? That would be nice, isn't it, Marcus?
Oh, yeah. Please let us know. We appreciate your feedback.
Yes, thank you all for listening to the TESAO Open Mic podcast. If you want to know more about us, what we do, how we do it, and build a QA testing career in the IT industry from scratch, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to listen to our private podcast, please join our Discord community directly from your Testa account. Take care, stay safe, and stay tuned. Cheers.